Literally somebody trying to get control of her computer. That was crazy. And then my computer, my laptop started messing up, and then one of my vendors was having an issue where the screen kept asking her to re-enter the password over and over, and now her computer's running real slow. Something's going on, guys. Rotate your passwords, run some scans, because some shit's going down in the interwebs this week. You know what else is going down? Smilegate. Messing with our units. Did you guys see the news? Got a lot of people on Reddit's knickers in a twist, that's for sure. So, they edited the balance patch today. So let's talk about what's going on with this edit, and if it's something that we should be upset about, care about. Is it going to change anything, right? So they said, after releasing the 10.24 balance preview, we have gathered various opinions from our heirs, and after careful review, we've decided to revise previously announced adjustments of the Moonlight 5 hero Silverblade Aramintha and the 5-star Covenant hero Mort. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by these changes, and thank you for your understanding. So, first of all, check it, right? They've gathered various opinions from our heirs. I mean, people need to stop complaining about them making changes that, like, the community is requesting. I think it's awesome that they're listening to the community, but let's see what they did to these two units. So, in touch Ruel, Silverblade Aramintha. One nice thing is they will always highlight in yellow the changes, so it makes it real easy to find, right? So, they, to maximize her effect, her imprint concentration will be changed to effectiveness. So this is the big change, right? Before, she had an attack imprint concentration. Now she has an effectiveness imprint concentration. This is just a straight up buff, guys. This makes Aramintha better. Now, we don't quite know how the equation is going to work, right? How her, the effectiveness scaling into attack increases attack proportional to effectiveness. Don't know. If this could be a push to where 27 effectiveness is the same as 18 attack, I don't think it'll be quite that intense. But the fact that this is basically more attack for her and more effectiveness, this is just more stats. If anything, we might be reducing the need for attack, or reducing the amount of attack she has total, but increasing her effectiveness. So I think this is all around an actual buff for her, and it just makes sense, right? This unit should be an effectiveness-driven unit because they're basically turning her into something that I think is going to be as nasty to deal with as DDR. You guys like DDR? You want a second helping of DDR? You want a second helping of DDR, but she sets you on fire while controlling you. Instead of sleeps and venoms, you're going to get stuns and burns. I think everyone's talking about Mort, but everyone's ignoring how insane SBA is going to be. Juicer, thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think SBA is going to be crazy, and this is just a straight up buff. So that's great. But what but what did they do to the Great Mortellix? Let's see. Pavel, Dilibet, Kayron. Melissa says, God, this is a big ass patch. Here we go. Mort's. Find the yellow. Here's the yellow. To enhance Mort's ability, or to enhance Mort's ally protection abilities, the Sacred Blessing effect was going to be changed from hit resistance to granting skill nullifier. However, we found this change provided high defense, even in unexpected circumstances. Therefore, the effect will be adjusted once again from granting skill nullifier to a barrier effect. While this may reduce its ability to block single huge damage, it will be more effective against repeated attacks that inflict injury continuously. Okay, so let's break this down, right? Because skill null is OPAF, right? Skill null is insane. And a barrier is, of course, going to be less valuable than skill null for most situations, I'd say. But remember, it depends how his barrier scales. We already know Mort's an HP scaler. We already know he's going to have really, really, really high HP. So it's going to be a pretty decent barrier, I suspect, right? Skill Null can be dispelled by a single unit, S1ing. A Soul Weaver can S1 and drop Skill Null. Ice Elena's S3 would dispel Skill Null. Barrier, however, that's going to take a pretty solid hit to get rid of a barrier on an HP scaling unit. I think units like Urban Shadow Shu, for example, are going to be impacted by this negatively, right? Urban Shadow Shu, before she could S3 and just drop the Skill Null, and then her pop damage could come in and drop injury. Now she's going to have to chew all the way through the barrier and get through that to apply injury. I think it's going to make it easy, or I think it's going to make him better into injury fights where we have nuisance units applying injury. I think barriers are going to be better into that, but it's going to make it harder to just, like, you know, ruin him, right? Unless his barrier is like Senya's. See, the difference is Senya's a defense scaler, not an HP scaler. So Senya's, I'm right on that, right? Senya's a defense scaler? No, Senya's an attack scaler. You don't build Senya's with 30k health. You're going to see 30k health Morts. But yeah, you're right. It does depend a lot on how strong the barrier is. If it's a piddly little nothing of a barrier, then it's just basically worse, right? It's still better than critical hit resistance, right? It's still substantially, any barrier is better than crit hit resistance, so it's still an improvement. But, you know, it's definitely a downgrade in most situations from Skill Nullifier, because it's going to, Skill Nullifier just meant you couldn't just one-shot Mort out of the game. Now there are certain units that will be able to drop significant damage into Mort, go right through that barrier, and potentially kill him. Heck, maybe they're setting the stage to have Operator Sigrid be meaningful again, right? Into barrier units, maybe. A lot of people have gotten their pants in a twist over this, right? I mean, they are going nuts with it. I mean, you read this, right? Immune to debuffs which prevent movement. 85% chance to counterattack. Not even kidding. You put him on Counterset and Elbrus, and somebody does a single AoE hit to your team, there is an 85% chance you'll counter. It's literally 15% for him to not counter if you build him like that. And I'm not recommending building him like that. Just throwing an example. His ability to counter is absurd. And he's got a 100% chance to activate this once every 3 turns. Skill Null's gone in 1 turn. Who knows how long a barrier will last. The fear effect, his penetration, everything that they've done to this unit. If you read this kit and you went and you saw Skill Nullifier, and that was the moment you said, holy crap, this entire kit was kind of trash, but he's got Skill Nullifier. Well, that's a whole ass different story. It was not looking good until I saw Skill Null. That's what's breaking the Great Mortellix. That's the thing. Nah, fam. This is definitely a slight downgrade, but I don't think this is breaking him. So much so that I told people, and I stand by this, to all of the people demanding compensation because they spent a selector on Mort, kindly piss off. I mean, really. The post clearly stated that this patch was subject to change, so learn to read before you invest in the unit. I hope I'm not being too toxic by telling people, before you spend on something, maybe read the fine print of the contract, especially when it's not even fine print, but it's highlighted with a big asterisk beside it. Right? I mean, the skill descriptions mentioned in this preview may differ from the actual update. They straight up told you things could change. Also, all of the people that are saying we need compensation for this. Hey, so problematic. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it, man. All of the people saying that we need compensation for this, that they spent a plus 15 selector and now Mort's ruined because he doesn't have skill and all, and that somehow invalidates his entire kit. And they want compensation. They want another selector. Bitching about stuff like that over petty little things that don't actually matter. Complaining about things that have almost no impact on the game and are just simply a result of you not reading the notes that said this is subject to change. This waters down and weakens our ability to ask for actual compensation when there are actual issues. If every single time a little thing happens, somebody says, let's review bomb, let's get the sign trucks ready to go, we're never going to be able to have them step up and address our actual complaints. We're just going to sound like a bunch of whiny little bees. Mort's still going to be a broken monster. This really changes nothing, and I do think this is going to actually make him better versus injury, although this all depends on how strong the barrier is, right? How beefy of a barrier it is. And even if it's a little thin sliver of a barrier, it's still better than skill null, it's still better than anti-crit, because you can get that from other places if you really, really want it. I don't think it's going to be tiny. Mort's HP scaler. And I really come down to this. No one was looking at Mort's changes and thinking, oh, skill nullifier is what makes this guy broken. I mean, his buffs were bad until I saw skill null. Sure, I'm glad that's not barrier. That'd be awful. We'd need compensation for that. So I'm sorry, guys. If that caught you in the crossfires, well, good. You deserved it. Do better. Be a better person. Complain when there are actual problems. I can't believe the thing that people are upset about is that they made this ever so slight change to Mort. And, our poor boy Oxlots is being removed from the game. Entirely removed from the game. They're calling it a buff, but offering a recall. Simply because Smilegate can't figure out how to write compelling content around the cheese that is Oxlot's Spirit's Breath. But yeah, barrier over skill null. That's the thing. That's the thing that's got people upset. Were people really asking for compensation? Not so much on Stove, but yeah. Reddit is loaded with it. I'm not going to bother pulling up the Reddit post because every time I pull up Reddit's... every time you open Reddit complaint threads, you know, a puppy cries. It's just something I try not to do. It's not a good thing. But anyway, that's my take on the notes, and maybe more changes will happen before the 24th. We don't know. The bottom line is, they said very clearly the skill descriptions mentioned in this preview may differ. And they may differ still. They may change Mort back if enough people complain about it. They may add more things to Mort in case we think, if enough people say, well, this damages his kit so much, maybe they'll add something. Maybe they'll up him to 100% pen instead of 70% pen to make up for the nerf. Whatever they do, it's going to happen. And if you make the decision to buy it before the final form is out, when they say it may be different, if you're going to pre-buy it, if you're going to use a selector on it, you got to own it when things change. I used 2 bottles of knowledge to finish off my Spirit's Breath. I was pretty pissed off about it, but I made that decision and now I'm going to own it. I'm not going to jump on Reddit and cry and demand compensation or a selector over it. That's crazy talk. Hey, Godus, thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I appreciate you. Isn't Fear debuff like Lethe's debuff? All that happened to Mort, for those of you coming in late, is that they changed it from skill null on his S2 to a barrier. Right there. Yes, basically nothing. They made him better against units who could just tap him like a Soul Weaver or a Knight's S1 skill and get rid of the skill null, and then the nukers and the injuries could go in and take him out. They made him slightly worse if after he does the skill, your next unit in line is your nuker. Suddenly they can actually do damage to him instead of blocking 100% of damage from skill null. I mean, skill null is pretty freaking OP, but yeah, you can't call it a complete nerf. it really depends on how big the barrier is, and that's the one thing we don't know. We assume the barrier will scale off his HP, but it could be like Peyra's barrier that scales off of level. It could be like Senya's barrier that is teeny freaking tiny. It could be like FCC's barrier that's pretty decent. It could be like Haste's barrier that's god-awful insanely huge. Until we know how big of a barrier it is, we really don't know if it's better, worse, or just kind of a push. One thing we do know is it's easier to one-shot through barriers than it is to one-shot through skill null. If you have Operator Sigrid on the team, she could probably kill Mort. Whereas with skill null up, she probably couldn't. So, yeah. What's great is they did this after gathering various opinions from our heirs. It's not like they just randomly decided to do a change. They took feedback into account and made a change based on that feedback. They also changed SBA's imprint from attack to effectiveness, so that makes her better too. So yeah, I am having a lot of trouble caring about this issue. This is with everything else that's going on, with them just basically deleting Oxlots from the game entirely. This is your hill to die on, that they made this insanely broken unit ever so slightly less broken. Frickin' Reddit. Wyvern one-shot in the name of what's that? W13, Wyvern 13. So, I'm going to show two different kinds of Wyvern one-shots today. You guys just want to get into that right away? Let me do some summons first. Let me get my daily stuff out before we go and do work. Yeah, the patch is amazing, guys. What did they change? Silverblade Aramintha's imprint is now going to be... excuse me, it's going to be effectiveness instead of attack, which makes her better. And Mort, there, instead of Mort's S2 granting him skill null, it's now going to grant him a barrier, which is probably a little bit worse, but probably better versus injury. And the one thing you want to keep off of your HP scalers is injury. So a lot depends on how good the barrier is, but it's I don't know. It's like ordering your custom car, and then they call you up and say, "Hey, the tires you wanted, we can't get those anymore, so we're replacing them with these tires that are a slightly different tread pattern." It really is like such a minor freaking difference, but yeah, people are all over Reddit like demanding recalls and compensation because they feel like somehow changing skill null to barrier is ruining their lives. So I kind of called them bitches because they're being bitches. Unlike most of you, I still have some summons left. So today's the day, guys. Today's the day. It's going to crack into a purple sparks. We're going to get a 5-star little boy out of the corner. Or it could just be Crozet. Why is it always Crozet? You know, I don't even care anymore. We've gone all this way without a 5-star. Let's just click through them and get past this. I don't even want a 5-star anymore. It's reverse psychology, Smilegate. Pick up while I'm laying down. Okay, I lied. I lied. I want a 5-star, you sons of bitches. I got one summon tomorrow. One left. Madness. The Ken one-shot's already 100%. We're not going to get better than the Ken one-shot, guys. The Ken one-shot is, I think, my final form when it comes to hunts. But, something easy here? Oh my god. Is he really doing this with this top team? Book. There's a free book. So what I'm planning on putting together for us here is a one-shot team. I'll show off the Ken team. I'll make a video out of that. And then I will do a one-shot team using only level 78 and lower gear. Right? Mostly goblin gear. That sounds spicy? Something's not right. Oh, speed set. There we go. Yo, Trist, Hunt or Rift for weekend buff? Rift. Unless you need reforge mats, then Hunts. If you just need gear, Rift. If you just need reforge mats, Hunts. If you're trying to get maybe an extra 4 or 5 pulls on Mystics, then Hunts. That's pretty much. I used to do Firekin and PvP all the time, but I haven't tried them there in a long time. Oh my god, this looks just ridiculous. Okay. Do we even need Destina? Or do we go Arya? I think we need Destina or eventually. I don't know. Ken should absolutely destroy. But if we put Arya up, nobody's going to hit Ken. We'll just run this. Oh, shit. People need gear, don't they? Are you missing gear? How are you missing gear? Oh, that's right. I did Hall of Trials, of course. I think I think the 3 universal constants, right, are death, taxes, and Smilegate doesn't do an unequip event during the first day of Hall of Trials. I think those are like the 3 universal constants. Say if somebody completes Eulogy for a Saint years ago, any alternative for the Charm Hunts? No. Not yet. Not yet. But I know Smilegate is aware of it. I know they are aware that the new biggest complaint is that charms are a bottleneck, and I know they're brainstorming with ways to address that. So don't lose hope. I don't care. They should add gear savings thing. Summoner's War had it. We've been asking for gear loadouts, right? Savable gear sets for a long time. Does it drop side charms too? As far as I know, it only drops equipment charms. It doesn't drop accessory charms, but you can get accessory charms from Labyrinth. And it doesn't. Nothing drops artifact charms. But I can show you a way to cheese some extra artifact charms if you want. Okay, let's see here. What's up, Edax? What is Eulogy for a Saint Charm Hunt? In Eulogy for a Saint, if you spend the 900 Sky Stones to open it up, there is a... there are a couple of fights in there that have 5 fights per stage, per entry. And because of that, they drop more things. And as a result, if you farm those stages much in the same way you farm Unrecorded History, you'll get about 20% gold and about twice the amount of charm drops. Okay, let's see. We got an attack buff, so let's start with this, and we'll just hurt you really, really, really bad. Now we've got eyeball, so we can see through, and that way, in case you're evasion, that means you're dead. And then we can burn one more time in case you're the world's tankiest Politis. You actually were pretty freaking tanky. Now everybody's dead. What do I think about the Mort changes? I think it's much ado about nothing. I think it's Tempest in a teacup. I really think people need to find better hills to die on. I think we need to see how big the barrier is. Deleted Oxlots from the game, it means that he really isn't going to have much use anymore. They're trying to change him into a PvP unit, but his kit is so 2019 for that style of cleave. I don't think he's going to be usable in any meaningful way. So he's not going to be a unit in the game anymore. Not really. Bye, Senya. I'm at 9k Skystones. Should I spend 900 for that story? How much of a bottleneck are charms for you? You still get charms from unrecorded history. Ouch. That almost tickled. Ouch. All the freaking anti-counter buff on poor Ken. Anyway, be a shame if all those should just get stripped or get cleansed away. Plan on getting Zahak from a max unit selector. Would you say he's worth it right now? I think Zahak's a good pickup. He's usable in PvE. He's great at killing Oddens and evasion units. You don't see evasion units nearly as much in PvP anymore, but they're still out there enough that he's a nice one to have in your back pocket. Everyone's going to counter me now, aren't they? I don't care. I want the attack buff. Literally, all of them. He countered. She countered. She didn't salvo at least. Kick, 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 kick. Bye. I don't understand this Harsetti unit. I mean, I don't understand why I'm pushing buttons. I should just be letting this play itself. Losing faith in Smilegate. The Mort changes another bait and switch. We really doing this? In writing, the day the post went up, the skill descriptions mentioned in the preview may differ from the actual update. Before they started talking about the units, at the top of the thread, they said things might change. The reason that they changed them was because of community opinion. How can you say it's a bait and switch? Holy crap, man. If you didn't read the fine print and you spent a selector on a unit that's being changed in a way that you didn't anticipate, that's not a bait and switch. That's not you reading the fine print. Come on, Royal. Be better than this. When Smilegate screws up, they deserve every bit of hate they get, but I mean, they did everything to spell it out that this is subject to change. I even applauded them for saying this is subject to change right out of the gate so that people wouldn't complain when they felt the need to make a change before it came out. Is Mort still a good pickup for the Tactile Selector? Shit, yeah. Did you see this kit? Holy crap, guys. Immune to all debuffs that prevent movement. All heroes cannot counterattack, except the caster, who, by the way, if he's on Elbrus and counters that, has an 85% chance to counterattack from an AoE hit. 20%, built-in greater Elbrus, because an ally attack includes him, so it's better than Elbrus, because Elbrus only procs on the actual other teammates. This procs on anybody. You can't touch anybody without chance of Elbrus going off. And when he counters, 100% chance to put Blessing up, which grants a barrier to all allies. All allies, not just him, all allies. Increases the speed of the caster so he can cycle this bullshit even faster. And that's just his passive? Not to mention what Fear does and his ability to self-sustain and self-heal, that he's an HP scaler. And, oh yeah, by the way, he can ignore ER defense break. Ignore ER defense break. It's madness. This is like 12 different kinds of broken and busted. And you think anybody who read this kit and said, oh shit, man, it was looking good until they got rid of skill null. Now that he doesn't have skill null, this entire kit is trash. I mean, sure, barrier's practically the same thing, but you know what? Now, like, if they ever so happen to have their nuclear Mort killing buster unit, maybe they're running Operator Cigarette and that barrier just gets me killed. Yeah, man, this just makes Operator Cigarette too good in the game, right? Sorry, man, I can't. And I'm trying not to call you out too much on this, buddy, because it's not you, Royal. It's not you. I've been inundated this morning with people actually saying things like, we need to send the trucks over this. We need to review bomb over this. If we don't get a RGB selector as compensation, then Smilegate's scamming us all over this. And it's some of the most brain dead, ridiculous takes over a change that was requested by the community, or change that was as a result of information from the community, after they straight up said that things may differ, and people are still jumping on the bandwagon of this is scummy, this is bait and switch, they tricked people into using their selectors purposely to sell a useless unit. It's madness to me. Pick a better hill to die on, guys. This one ain't it. But yeah, I'll straight up apologize to you, Roy. You might have caught some strays there that were really more deserving to be aimed at Reddit. You just pushed one of my buttons, so don't take it too personally. I think it's a bad take, thinking that Smilegate listening to the community and making a change as a result of listening to the community after they said they might make changes is somehow scummy. That's exactly what we've asked for. Like with everything, is before you do something, maybe check with us to make sure it's not stupid, and if we tell you it's stupid, maybe adjust your change. And they're doing it more and more, and I kind of like that. The only reason I didn't pick Mort from the selector is because I already have a plus 15 Mort. But you know what I don't have? I don't have any Mort imprints. So putting my money where my mouth is, this guy is busted good, guys. Busted good. So I'm getting a Mort imprint. And I'm not even going to wait and see if there's an ML Mort. We're ready. So I hope that answers your question of if I think he is still worth the selector. Shit, yeah, I do. Can't believe I actually did that. Can't believe I actually do half the things I do. All right. So let's talk about Wyvern just a little bit. I'm going to show you what in my opinion is the strongest Wyvern 13 one-shot in the game, bar none right now. Now, some people might preach strays, but strays take such an insane level of gear to only shave a couple seconds off. I mean, triple torrent set is not the easiest thing to put together. Hey, Angel, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, raiders. Did you have a good stream? You're just in time for us to murder some wyverns. There's an overpopulation. Have your wyverns spayed or neutered, everybody, because there's too damn many of them, and we need to help control the population. Imagine what Orbis would be like with all the wyverns running around. So that's why you need to do your part to kill as many wyverns as quickly as possible. Hey, Pink Floyd, thank you so much, and I love the name, too. Except it's pink foiled. Crazy. So, first I'm going to show off the end game top-end wyvern murdering team, right? And that is the Ken team. I like this team because it doesn't use Sinful Angelica, and that's a sticking point, but it does take a limited unit, and a lot of people don't have Rem. So this one's more for the people who've been around for a while, the people that actually have Rem. I'm going to experiment with Cigarette and some other options to see if I can make her work here. Maybe we'll do that next, but for right now, this is my team because it is a 100% guaranteed success one-shot, right? First on the team is going to be my PvP Conqueror Lilius, with the exception of she's barefoot. I took her shoes off, and that's because she needs to be below 220 speed. So do whatever you need to do to get her below 220. Trust if she's faster than that, she can cut the Wyvern and it can cause you some issues. So just taking her shoes off is generally enough. I put her on Warhorn to boost the damage of the other people on my team, and you don't need this imprint, but it helps. If you've got the imprint, turn it on so everybody gets the attack boost. I'm going to turn it off because I'm pretty sure I don't need it at my current build level, but if you're struggling, you can turn the imprint on for that extra damage. And then the next two fastest units on the team, surprisingly, are Rem and Ross. Now, they're exactly the same speed, plus or minus 1 speed. It doesn't matter which one goes first. You just want one of them to go. You just want both of them to go before the little dragon guys attack, right? Because the last thing you want is a dragon guy hitting Rem killing the dragon, and proccing her demon mode too early. So they both need to go faster than the dragons, which means I think 185 speed is the minimum. So keep them. Try to keep them north of 185, right? She's at 100% crit chance. I know it says 71, but we get 15% because of elemental advantage, and I get another 16% because I've got Midnight Bloom stuffed on Ross. We'll talk about that in a minute. But other than that, she's just built for damage. Now, I've got her on Daydream Joker. You might need to put her on a different artifact to help you drop some nukes, like Tonfa or Symbol of Unity or something to give extra damage to the dragonlets, because the hardest part of this is that your Rem hits hard enough to kill the ads on stage 1. But Rem can't do it alone. She's going to need help. And for help is the most ridiculous Adventurer Ross you've ever seen. It's a destruction set damage Adventurer Ross. And I know Ross is an HP scaler, but his attack scaling is actually better than his HP scaling for damage. So he's on an attack ring. Again, he is at 100% crit because Midnight Bloom gives me 16% crit chance. That gets him to 100% and also takes my Rem up to 100% crit chance. And just as much damage as I can put into him. The hardest part is getting Ross and Rem together to be able to kill the snakes on the first stage before Ken takes a turn. And that brings us to our third unit. That's the hardest part. That's the part people struggle with, really, is being able to one-shot this first stage snakes. After you do that, everything else is cake. Fire Ken, I've got him on Durandal. You kind of need it. I don't know that there's a way to do this without Durandal on Fire Ken. You can maybe pull it off with Warhorn. I'd have to test it. But the whole point of Durandal is after being attacked, he's going to CR push by 8%. And when his health is below 75%, it's an additional 16%. So this is where it gets tricky. No, it doesn't need to be 30%. You'll just need to speed tune it around whatever the percentages are. Because the goal is that he gets hit hard enough by the first dragon blast that it drops him below 75% health. And that way you get the double push on the next 2 dragon blasts. But the next 2 dragon blasts, the first one gets him below 75%, but the next 2 don't actually kill him. So there's this kind of HP tuning where you need to be low enough defense and HP that the first blast gets you into that 75% range, but he can survive the next 2 blasts. Even if he survives with 1 HP, that's plenty. And he needs to have enough speed that the combo of the 3 blasts from the Wyvern will push him ahead of Conqueror Lilius. So if you've got a lower level Durandal, if you got a plus 15 Durandal, for example, and you're only getting 6% and 12%, it'll still work, but maybe you need to take him up to like 140 speed. Or maybe you need to take your Conqueror Lilius down to like 200 speed. Just something to make sure that Ken is the first one to go after getting shot in the face 3 times by the dragon. And that's it, because he'll have the vigor from Conqueror Lilius, so his first attack guarantees the defense break, and that's what makes it 100% one-shot. Here's how it works. After I get rid of my heroes. Okay, here's how it works. Here's how it works. Everybody's skills are on. Conquer Lilies will go first. This applies vigor to the entire team. And the provoke does nothing. Ras happened to go first. It could have been Rem. The end result's the same. Ras does just enough damage that Rem can finish them off with a single S3. What matters is that they all die together at the same time. That triggers demon mode on Rem, so Rem's able to do her double attacks. Watch Ken slide CR bar. The first hit, okay, just that doesn't matter. The first hit pushed him little, but now he's below 75%, so he gets the big pushes from the next two hit. He goes next. He kicks, guaranteed defense break, pulling Rem, who hits with demon mode, hits again. This hit can literally pull anybody, but it pulled Rem, so she hit twice. And if it didn't pull Rem, that's okay, because she gets to go again. And then Ras's S2 is another dual attack. You can't not kill the Wyvern. No matter how weak your Rem is, you still kill the Wyvern as long as your Rem is strong enough to clear the first stage. It never fails. The only way that this team fails is if your power goes out in the middle of the fight. Epic 7 crashes. Not kidding, guys. Here's 10 quick battles. Pop, pop, pop. I've run this fight hundreds and hundreds of times, and I've never had a fail on it. So there you go. But let's talk about what if you don't have this gear? What if you don't have Rem? How are you going to be able to do this without these units? Well, we're going to try it. We're going to try a little something something today. Now, I have not tested this yet, so I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try. We're going to run Sigrid, because everybody has her. We're going to run Arya, who if you didn't pick up, Arya's a mage, not a warrior. If you didn't pick up Arya from a selector ticket, maybe this is going to convince you to do just that. We're going to run Corinne, who is free in the Book of Memories, but otherwise she's just a 4-star, so you should be able to pick her, but you can get her for free from the first summer event, right? And the one that people are going to complain about the most, because she's not super accessible. You can't just go and get her because you want her. But Sinful Angelica. But I think with all of the ML summons that we've done, hopefully you guys were able to lay your hands on one of these girls. Otherwise, you know what? You do your normal summons, and eventually you'll get her. And when you do, you can unlock her. And until then, you just do whatever Wyvern team you're currently running. But a level 60 Singelica is a little OP. How about we just use a 4-star Sinful Angelica, right? But what about gear? We need to gear these things in the most awful way possible. So let's see. This is going to take a second because I'm going to need to pull some trash out of my storage. Let's see. For a weapon, we're going to use... Let's see. It was an immunity set. I should have prepped this before stream, but instead you guys are just going to have to sit around and wait while I do this stuff. I think that's the best piece on our kit. And let's see, it was a You finally got Sinful Angelica. I think you're gonna love this team then, Nexus. This team is absolute genius, and I am mad that I'm not the one who thought it up. This is Prof Boy's brainchild, and it is brilliant. Okay, that piece is already out of the box. We need... That piece is already out of the box. That piece is already out. That piece is, and... Shit. Now I can find the pieces, I bet. Okay, 78 boots, so they must already be out. 78 neck. They must already be out. 78 armor. That one. And 78 helmet. That one. Okay. And let me see, we needed Corinne's gear. If you guys have any questions, ask them now, because it'll take me a second to find all this damn gear. That one. That one. That one. 378 HP. That one. What artifact are you going to put on Sinful and Arya? Maybe Warhorn, or I'll probably run what do you call it? Midnight Bloom on Sinji. Arya, I don't know. Should we put an artifact on Arya? You think she needs an artifact? I guess we could put something on her, right? A little something something. How much time a day do I invest in Epic 7? Probably more than I should. That piece. I usually have it up while I'm doing stuff at work off to the side, so it's kind of hard to answer that. 20... Wait, what happened to the stats? There we go. 21 attack, 12 health. That's not it. That's it. Okay. Almost done, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's see. Arya's pieces here. That one. Put Sierra Wren for more debuffs. That's not a bad idea. I like what you're cooking, man. That's pretty good. Hey, what's the song? It's called Violence Machine, and it's by White Bat Audio. Not all, but most of my DMCA free audio is from White Bat Audio. Let me see, what was I looking at? The boots, HP 20 by 22, 20 of those. Okay. The rest of these were Destro. That's already out. That one. 12 defense, that one. And a ring. Defense main, that one. everything for her. And last and actually least is Sinful Angelica. So let's see, you get 20 crit damage, like she needs crit damage, good lord. This one, 8 speed, 13, that one. This one is 14 health by 14 effectiveness, it's that one. This one has got 374 flat health in it somewhere. 374, 37, that one. And the boots have 573 flat health in them, that one. And these are actually 78 pieces. So this one's got 15 speed, and this one has got 6 speed. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me for that. That sucked. Rename Arya Hua Young. Also, no arms unit. Okay, so let's see. Hunt, hunt, hunt. Alrighty. So let's load the team up. Wait, did I do this already somewhere? Thought I did. Oh well. So we're going to run Arya. And we're going to run Sigrid for our nuke. And Corinne for our defense breaker. And Sinji. And we're going to use the crappy Sinji here. Okay, let's gear these impressive units. Okay. Sigrid, of course, we're going to put on Daydream Joker. I mean, come on, it's a one-shot unit. Go get your ass a Daydream Joker and max it out. You want to do Wyvern or what? And let's sort this by, let's see, hide equipped and show me, like, the worst of the worst. That makes life a little easier. Okay, I'm going to need you guys to tell me if you think that this is free-to-play friendly or not. If this is, if you think I'm going a little bit overboard on the quality of this gear. Let's see. That one is 4. And this one is crit damage. And it's a 78 piece. Is it this one? No. There we go. And this one's an attack main with 47 flat health. And it's level 78. No, that's it. And this one is an attack main boot with 21 health for some reason. Nope, it's not it. There we go. Okay, there she is. 4K, 4400, 350 with 74% crit chance and 117 speed. All 78 and under gear. Fair? The 350 looks scary, but with a 70% boost from destruction and not having to really worry about crit chance, it's pretty obtainable and no imprints. EE doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's build Corinne next. And We could put a whole host of things on Corinne for an artifact, right? Any thief artifacts that give a debuff that are easy to get a hold of? Don't say things like torn sleeve or something limited, right? Otherwise, we just put damage on her. Oh, rage would make yeah, but we're going for like dog water stats, right? I mean, for example, let's use where's the... Did I not pull this out of the queue yet? I guess I missed one. I'll have to go back in and find it. I might have missed her gear. Let's see. This was... Shit, I didn't pull her stuff out yet. Hang on. I swear we pulled Corinne's stuff out. Must have not hit confirm or something. So it was 20% attack, 112 defense, 112 defense helm. There we go. Yep, I sure as heck didn't take it out. And this was a 26 effectiveness. 25? No, 26. Not HP. There. And the boots had 378 flat health there. And this was 78 gear, 19 health. Must already be out. 21 attack. Must already be out. And that's it. Yeah, I just left these 3 pieces in. Oops. Okay, where were we? Destro. It was 78 with 10 speed. No. God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. This is the content you tuned in for, right? Is watching me go, where the frick's my gear? Sorry. They changed the patch notes. They changed Mort from granting skill null to granting a barrier. And they changed Silverblade Aramintha from being an attack imprint to being an effectiveness imprint. So they basically made SBA better, and they kind of did a sideways change on Mort that makes it really depend on how good the barrier is. But a lot of alarmists are crying about it like it's the end of the world on Reddit because they've got nothing better to do with their lives, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. So where were we? No, that piece and this piece, and... let me see. This one is a crit damage main, crit chance. This one? No. This one? No. This one? There we go. This one's an attack main with 45 flat attack, and it's 78. So this one, no. Where did it go? 78. No. Swear to God, if it's still in the frickin' box. It is. It's still in the flippin' box. We'll go get it in a minute. And the boots were this, right? 13, yeah. I would not say Fenris Artifact is useless, though. It's only mostly useless. I can't think of a unit it's good on, but it looks like it's got potential to be really good on somebody. Hello, Mr. Sue. I've gone back into my storage box 19 times because I evidently can't get all of the things pulled out at once. There we go. Nope, that's not it. 45 flat attack and 19 health on a Destro piece. 45 flat attack, 19 health. Good lord. Should I keep 4 copies or just smash them together? 4 copies of Fenris's artifact? I would keep 2. Take 1 up as high as you can and keep a second one. That way you're future proof. I got a lot of artifacts like that where I kept 2 of them just in case they wound up being good later. What do I think about Rimru's artifact? Some people swear by it, but I just don't get it. I've never been able to get any use out of his artifact, and it's frustrating too, right? Because I've got a friggin' plus 27 one. That artifact loved me. I didn't even pull for it. It just kept showing up, and every time I think, oh, maybe I could use this on XYZ unit, I'm like, no, there's 25 better artifacts, but some people like it on them. I don't know. I just don't get it. Should you change Molagora Go back to Mola? I mean, Molagora Go is useless, so you may as well change it so you can use it. There's no place for it, and there's no reason to keep it. I guess maybe you could keep 1 if you're a collector of things that aren't in the game anymore. There we go. I mean, I'm sitting here with dogs I'll never use because I liked keeping them just to have relics of the past. So I guess if you want to hang on to something for collector's purposes, but it serves no purpose in the game, and it's just 4 Molagora you don't have to spend elsewhere. Okay, what do we put on Corinne though? What artifact? I mean, I could put a second Daydream Joker on her, but 2 Daydream Jokers might be a little bit much to recommend for people. How about we just put her on Warhorn? That way we mix things up a little bit, right? There we go. How many copies of Frida's artifact should I keep? I've got a few. That's Bubble Maker, right? She's limited, so you always keep at least 2 for a limited. You keep all the ones you need, and then 1 extra for future proof. And then you start leveling up the ones you're using. Nah, I don't need Oath Key. She's got 68 effectiveness. That's all we need. Oh, Bubble Maker's Ida. Oh, hers is the Souls one, right? Yeah, nobody uses it yet, but I guess it could be usable on some Soul Weavers down the road. I'd still keep 2. I'd still keep 2. Okay. Let's make Arya. This Arya is too good. We need a much, much worse Arya than this. So let's go with a 78 weapon. Let's go with a Goblin Gear Helm. How about a... Sure. And crit chance, crit damage, crit chance. This 11 by 21, sure. And Mort was not updated yet and was changed a bit again. Yeah, they said in the patch notes, they said specifically that the skills were subject to change. Anybody crying that he was pre-nerfed, I'm like, you need to learn to read things before you invest in things, guys. Besides, I still am not convinced it's a nerf. I think it's going to make him better against injury units. Hello, is it worth rolling for the upcoming Lilius banner if there is any unit that already does what she does? You want to get Lilius. She's an incredibly important unit. She's good in PvE, PvP. She's a staple unit. She's a powerhouse. She's absolutely gorgeous. And having her will let you be able to do the brawl mode even better. I think anybody that doesn't get Lily is shooting themselves in the foot in this game. That. And 78 HP these. Alrighty. There we go. I mean, do we even need an artifact on her? Really? Let's see. Singelica. Okay, guys. You, don't at me over this. We're gonna make the most broken, sinful Angelica you've ever seen, okay? Let's see.
Tristen, how dirty did they do our Mortalix?
We ordered a Ferrari, and they're sending us a Ferrari, but they changed the tread pattern on the tires to a slightly different tread pattern than the one we ordered. It's crazy. The whole Ferrari's ruined, man. Just throw the whole thing out at this point. Demand a refund. That's how bad it is. The changes to Mort don't really change anything, guys. Ooh, that looks pretty nasty. And okay, guys. I know this level of gear looks tough to get, right? I mean, I don't think you guys understand. This is a 330 gear score Singelica. You would have to farm the goblin fight for like days to get this level of gear. But I think we're just going to have to go with it. For those of you who don't get sarcasm, that was a lot of it. This is horrible. We're not going to put an EE on her. We're going to give her Midnight Bloom because you could use pizza delivery. This is just about getting the stats, right? You don't need to use this artifact if you can get the 85% crit chance on all the units, but I'm a little skeptical about not having any artifact on Arya, but we're going to try it and see what happens, right? I'm a little bit nervous. We're just going to do a quick run through so we can make some tweaks, and then if it works, maybe we make a video out of it. Okay, so here we go. Everybody's skills will be on. The reason this works is because we stealth first, and because we're stealthed, nobody should get hit out of stealth except for Arya, who's going to slap back, get hit and slap back, summon the murder penguin. And if this kills all of the ads, we're in business. If this doesn't kill, we're going to need an artifact. It doesn't kill, we're going to need an artifact. Okay. I thought no artifact on her was a little bit too much to ask for. Okay, so what's a good artifact for Arya to do some extra damage? That won't do anything. Rangar's drink, yeah, that'll go over well. Are the Snecks considered elite or boss monsters? They're not, right? Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Tonfa over Portrait. It was free, but people... Or, that's not it. Prelude is what I was thinking of. It was free, but we don't have it. Where's my Exorcist Tonfa? Do I really not have Exorcist Tonfa? Of course not. I've got 10 billion portraits, so of course I don't have Tonfa. Prelude. Sue, is this available in-game anywhere? Or was this, Where do we get this? Frick. I don't want to use it. It's anniversary only. But I don't have any Tonfas. The cake won't work, I don't think. Because I think these monsters are, what do you call it? I don't think they're the elites. Daydream Joker shouldn't work. Just try a squirt gun. Let's see if the extra attack from this and the fact that it has some stats on it. Let's see if that just pushes me over the edge. We just did try without an arty. We just didn't quite have enough damage. I'm trying to find like the absolute lowest end of gear to do this. Tack, smack, tack, smack. Murder penguin. Yeah, see? We're going to need a damage booster. Or... oh! Man, that was close. Or is this enough? Oh, Symbol of Unity! Symbol of Unity! Frickin' brilliant! Where were you 5 minutes ago? Time Matter's nice, but it's a 5-star artifact that people... Nobody's going to pull on a Ludwig banner. Why didn't I think a Symbol of Unity? I'm sitting here chasing through all of these like, where's my Tonfa? And I've got Symbol right here staring me in the face. Somewhere. Sheesh. Yeah, worst case, I'll spec a little bit more damage on her. Worst case. Because I mean, it'll still be freaking bare bones, but worst case, we'll put a little more damage on her. Pop, smack. Pop, smack. Murder penguin. Oh, bam! Okay, let's try one more time. I want to see if we can do it where we don't hit one of the front two snecks. Well, wait. We always hit one of the front two snecks, right? Because the front two snecks always attack first. So we always hit one here. See, it hit both of them. Don't hit both of them. Just give me one where I just hit one front back and then front back again. Because if we do front back and it still clears, then we definitely full clear, because the back one has the least health of all of them. For Crying out loud, Arya, can you stop being so damn efficient? And when I turn this off, can it stay off, please? You got your 5-star ticket today and pulled Faithless Litica. Ugh. She's gorgeous. And you'll find some uses for her, it's just that she's hard to use competitively, right? Okay, this is good. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted, so does it kill both of them? Blammo. Easy. So this is a guaranteed first stage clear. Sinji is still stealth, so the dragon only hits the back row. Resistance, don't you love it? 15% resistance. We didn't get the blind. We got the defense break. We kick in for a little extra damage. And we got a bleed. Dual attack. We got an attack. We didn't get another bleed. Wow, only 3 debuffs. So this is going to be very wimpy. Attack. We're going to take a hit to the face. 4 debuffs. We can survive it. Wasted attack. What can we put that will, I mean, this was like a worst case scenario. We missed like every single debuff. Well, not every single. We missed the majority of the debuffs. Yeah. All we need to do is recommend a artifact that's from a collab that hasn't rerun in like over a year. That'll go over well. I still think this works, right? What was Corinne on? What Artie was Corinne on? Was Corinne even on an Artie? I always put her on Warhorn for extra attack for Sigrid. What thief artifacts do debuffs? Any thief artifacts that do debuffs? Alabastron? Any 5-star or any non-5-star artifacts that do debuffs? What EE is she on? Inflicts 2 bleed effects on the enemy. Yeah, I mean, we missed like just about every debuff. Okay, we're going to run this for a bit of recording. Try to contain yourselves with the text-to-speech for just about 10 minutes, guys. Okay, so if you're looking for a Wyvern hunt team, your first Wyvern one-shot hunt team, this is how you can do it with incredibly low-end gear. Now, the better your gear, the more stable you'll make this, and I'll give you some options for making this even better. But this is the team. And again, mad props to Prof Boy for figuring this team out. I wish I had beaten him to it because this is bloody brilliant. So, first things first, we're going to run Sigrid. Now, Sigrid is a free unit. You can get her from doing the hunt missions, so just grind out your Sigrid. We're going to give her the worst of the best of the worst. We're going to try to gear her as good as we can using no gear higher than level 78. So there you go. Though it looks impressive with 350 crit damage, it's pretty easy to get to 350 crit damage with the 60% boost to crit damage that you get from the set and the 60% boost to crit damage that you get from the main stat on destruction. The reason we want high crit damage is crit damage scales with Daydream Joker. So this 3% is modified by this 350% increase to damage, and that's why you always want to focus. You would rather have 350 crit damage at 4k health than you would having 6k health at 250 crit damage. It's that significant, so always push your crit damage up. If you can get a little effectiveness on her, that is a bonus because Sigrid's S3 penetrates the more debuffs. 30% with an additional 10% for each debuff, meaning if you get 7 debuffs on the boss, you don't even need defense break anymore. It's 100% penetration. So the more debuffs that stick, the better Sigrid will be. As for an EE, Getting the one that increases your chance to bleed is great, especially if you have a little bit of effectiveness. 65% is the goal, but make sure you have the damage to get the job done. Now, more damage would be better, rage set would be better, pen set would be better, but I'm trying to keep this as low as possible. So this is pretty low-end gear for a nuking Sigrid that can one-shot. Next on the team, we're going to be running Corinne. Corinne is our defense breaker. You literally just need her to be 5% faster than Sigrid. All that's important is that she goes next in line, and with even at this speed, with Warhorn, she will be able to get the defense break off in plenty of time before Sigrid will do her attack. In place of Warhorn, you could run her on a debuffing artifact like Torn Sleeve if you're around for the Guilty Gear collaboration, or Alabastron if you have that for additional chances to debuff, or you could put her on Daydream Joker and drop some extra nuke damage yourself. But I figured the extra 10% attack into Sigrid would be worthwhile, so I gave her the Guild War artifact Warhorn. Other than that, she's built pretty much like Sigrid, except Corinne, you need the defense break, right? Corinne's defense break is somewhat clutch in case you don't get all 7 of the debuffs that you need for full penetration. So make sure she's got at least 65% effectiveness. The 65% effectiveness will ensure we drive home her crit, or her debuffs. And I'm sure some of you have noticed that both of their crit chances are below 85%. But that's okay. We're going to run an artifact called Midnight Bloom that you can get from the Book of Memories, or you can use Midnight Pizza Delivery if you are around for that artifact to drop. All of these things boost the crit chance of our units to make sure that they get that 100% chance to crit. You can also say, forget those artifacts, I want to use other artifacts, and just gear them to 85% crit chance. That plus the elemental advantage gets you the 100% you need to always crit. Oh, and Corinne, by the way, is free from the Book of Memories. 900 Skystones free, but you can get her there if you really need. Otherwise, she's a 4-star. You should pick her up from your random summons pretty quickly. Remember, if you don't have some of these units, you don't have to freak out about it. There are plenty of ways to farm Wyvern. I'm just trying to show you a low-end one-shot. And speaking of low end, here is one of the most dog water Arias you've probably ever seen. She's only got 10k health. She could run a lot less health and be fine. Only 1900 defense, which is low for a defense scaler. I've got her on a destruction set, so again, it was pretty easy to push her crit damage up, but even with a destruction set bonus and a crit damage bonus, I could only get to 311 crit damage. You could probably do better. We're running her on a Symbol of Unity. She does need the extra damage to help clear the front adds. I think this is about as low as you can go on the damage stats. And by damage, I mean attack, defense, and crit damage. Everything else is kind of negotiable. Again, you're shooting for the 85% crit chance mark, which we will get with the Elemental Advantage plus Midnight Bloom. Effectiveness would be better. If you could get her up to 65% effectiveness, that's just one more chance to stick a debuff from her blinds. And that is really, really nice. If you can get that blind debuff, that means more damage from your Sigrid. That means more stability. So if you can keep this level of damage and push your effectiveness up to 65 on this unit as well as on Sigrid, you're in good shape. And then once you get to 65 effectiveness, just push your damage up even more to make the teams even more consistent. And last, and the one I'm sure I'll take the most heat for, is Sinful Angelica. Oh, it's a 4-star ML unit. Where am I going to get this from? Well, you summon. Hopefully you've picked her up from all of your Galaxy summons from the event. Otherwise, you table this team until you pick her up. Once you pick Sinful Angelica up, the door is unlocked for this team. You put her on probably the worst geared Sinful Angelica I've ever seen. She's got 600 defense. She's got just sub 9k health. She's only 4-star. She's got 65% effectiveness, so there's a thing, right? She does have an attack down on her S1 skill, so hey, that's a potential for one extra debuff. So sure, a little bit of effectiveness. All that matters is that she's speed tuned to go first or second. As long as she goes first or second, that's all that really matters. She's just there to give the attack buff to the entire team and to dual attack when we fight the Wyverns. She doesn't need any ER because she's not going to take any hits. Make sure you load up whatever pet you have to farm your hunt bonuses and just press go. Everybody's skills are on in this fight. My Singelica went first. If Arya goes first, that's fine too. She gives attack buff to attack buff and speed buff to the team. Arya stealths, and this is why you don't need any effect resistance on your units. They can only hit Arya. Everyone else is stealth, and when Arya is hit twice, the murder penguin will come out and absolutely kill all of the frontline units, and that pushes you into phase 2. Clean and easy. The Wyvern starts shooting Arya in the face. She applies 1 blind. It's RNG. You might get resisted. Warhorn pushes Corinne up, or freaking, who gets 15% on her defense break, and now the run's going to fail, and I got to repeat myself, but that's okay. We're going to try it anyway. Let's see what happens. We didn't get any bleeds off Sigrid, so this is going to hit like a wet noodle. And there's your 15% fail rate, because 15%, because absolute resistance is actually a thing, and if you miss the defense break, it doesn't work. I didn't say it was 100% success rate. I'm just going to crop and edit this in, guys. Smack. Smack. And we even got the blind off Arya. It was such a good run. Stupid Corinne. Okay, the Wyvern starts hitting... Whoa, wait. Why'd she hit her? How'd she... Hang on. What happened there? No, we need to figure out why this didn't work. Did anybody see? It's because Arya went first. Arya went before Sinji. Did it matter? No, I'm trying to figure out why she had lost her stealth. Two turn stealth. She went first. 1 turn stealth phase shift. We need to slow Sinji down. Okay, we need to make a worse Sinji. How can we make her worse? This. Why does all my garbage gear have freaking speed on it? That's on Arya. Can't use that. 4 speed. We get effectiveness from anywhere else. That's got 13 effectiveness. 11 effectiveness. Getting effectiveness here. That's 14. $19. $59. Gets her speed down. $13 on the weapon. Oh, no. We'll just run like this. That definitely gets her down below. Oh wait, no, god damn it. We want her. I'm doing the wrong. I'm going the wrong way. Shut up, Evan. Shut up. Okay. At least that made things easier, right? So we put the speedy piece back on that had 15. And this piece 8, 8, 6, 8. This is the easiest one to speed up, huh? What was Arya's speed? $192 times 1.05, 202. Hey, Deity, thanks for the raid, buddy. How do I get her? I need 7 more speed. I need 7 more speed. How am I going to get 7 more speed without using actual real gear? Oh my god, is it really as simple as this? Bear with me. Hey man, thanks. It's crazy being 17 again.
Some cheer.
Hey, thank you so much for the sub, Tokodan. Hey, if you guys, maybe you haven't heard Deity. I mean, perhaps like you live under a rock or something, but for those of you who aren't following Deity, what are you doing with your life? Give the man a follow, check him out. One of the best sources for help as a new player. Okay, so let's see. Let's just put the world's shittiest speed gear on her, right? Speed gear that has an effectiveness substat, and that's all that we need, right? So, for weapons, we use this. It's level 9. Who's going to complain about level 9, right? And that, and that. Nothing there. Sure, maybe that. And we'll just use the boots we currently have. Yeah, I'm sorry you didn't make your goal, Deity, but that was still impressive. And mad props for being a man of your word and doing what you promised. Your mom's next. Okay, so without doing the boots, we'll do the weapon, the helm, the armor, the... Did we not take a neck out? I thought we took a neck out. I guess we didn't. And this... Look at that, look at that! 2 level 9 pieces, and we've still got our 65, and our speed tuning's perfect. She is even worse and somehow better with 666 in her CP. Okay, so this is this should be perfection, right? Let's test run it again just to be sure. And if it works, then we'll record it and we'll post it, and we'll make tens of dollars on YouTube. It's gonna be amazing, guys. Speed tuning, man. I hope people are starting. I hope that the new players here are starting to wrap their brains around how this game is about building teams. It doesn't matter how good the units are on a tier list. It's making sure that you have the right team synergy and that the units work together to accomplish a goal. There's no best unit in the game. There's the best unit for the fight you're doing. Yeah, even the gear. I mean, look at the gear we're running. Defense break, stuck it. Nice. Now show me some bleeds. Can we get some bleeds, please? Oh, we got both of them. We got the attack buff, another bleed from... Man, we got everything we could want. Now watch this hit. Watch this hit from this garbage can cigarette. Show me, girl. Oh, it was overkill. We could have been missing one or two of those debuffs and still one shot. With not a single piece of gear over level 78, we just one shot the Wyvern with units that are all either free units or are 4-star. And Arya, who, if you didn't get you from your selector, go unlock her story and go get your ass an Arya. Yeah. Okay, so let's record this one up, right? And then I'll do 10 quick battles just to see the stability on it. Okay, so for those of you who don't have the super end gear or weren't here for the Rem collab, don't worry, one shot is within reach for you as well. We're going to put together a team with the most dog water gear I can put together that still one shots Wyvern, and we're going to do it with mostly free and accessible units. So, I know, it's got Sinful Angelica. She's a 4-star ML unit. There's no easy way to just go out and get her, but hopefully you will pick her up sooner rather than later. If you don't have Sinful Angelica, just farm Wyvern with one of the half-dozen other methods that are out there. If you've got the gear to build a non-Singelica one-shot, that's great. Otherwise, there'll be a link in the description of this video for a team that you can build that will let you farm Wyvern. Maybe it's not a one-shot, but it's fast and it's stable, and as far as quick battling goes and background battling goes, it'll serve your Wyvern farming needs. But for those of you who want to take it to the next level, who want to enjoy the quality of life that is a one-shot with super low-end gear, have I got a team for you. We're going to start out with the fastest unit on the team, the world's best 4-star Sinful Angelica. She has got 800 defense and 8,000 attack. What more could you want? Not even kidding, guys. This is so poorly geared. It's all goblin gear, which is basically level 56 gear. A couple of pieces that aren't even fully leveled. No, I don't want to donate to the campaign. For fuck's sake, will this election ever be over? She's got... Sorry, I'm so annoyed right now. I can't remember where I was. Persistent, aren't they? They're going to keep calling. They're going to keep calling. They're going to keep calling. And I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to answer it. I feel your swing state pains. Yeah, living in a swing state, let me tell you. The best one was I got a political text from the Harris Walls campaign bragging about having hit a record goal in making like $100 million in a weekend fundraiser and thanking everybody for supporting, and then 5 minutes later, I got a text saying, "Hey, could you maybe loan us $20? Maybe donate $20?" So I was like, "Oh, stop! Leave me alone." Okay, so let's just start over with Sinful Angelica. So we're going to start with the world's best geared Sinful Angelica. It's going to blow you away how insane the level of gear is on this 4-star Sinful Angelica. She's rocking 800 defense and almost 8,700 HP. No, seriously, guys, this gear is bad. It's Goblin gear, which is effectively level 56 gear. A couple, her ring and weapon aren't even fully finished yet, and everything is level 78 or lower. And that's going to be the theme of everything in this video, is we're going to be doing level 78 and lower gear. So here's an overall view of her gear, but let's talk about what our needs are on Sinful Angelica. Our needs is she has to be the first unit to go on the team. So you need to build her with enough speed to make sure she goes first, but not so much speed that she outspeeds the Wyvern. So keep her fast enough to be the first unit to go on your team, but don't let her go over, say, 220 speed. Over 220 speed, she might cut the Wyvern. That can brick your runs. As for an EE, well, she's only 4-star, so she doesn't get one. And to be honest with you, none of them are really that helpful. For an artifact, I'm going to put her on Midnight Bloom. You can get this from the Rangar's Chaotic Full Moon Festival in the Book of Memories. You could also use Midnight Pizza Delivery. This just gives crit chance to the entire team. Pizza Delivery giving you 10% crit chance and 10% effectiveness, whereas Bloom gives you 16% crit chance. Pick the one that is the most beneficial to your team. You might actually find the effectiveness one is more useful, but if you don't have either, you don't have to use either one. You can put her on any artifact that boosts the damage for your team. Just make sure you have 85% crit chance on your ice units if you're not running this unit, this artifact. With this artifact, you can go as low as 69% crit chance on your ice units. Now let's talk about the second unit to go on the team. You want to make sure Arya is second unit. And the way you can math it out is you can take whatever Sinful Angelica's speed is, which was 205, and you can divide it by 1.05. And that gives me 195.2. That means as long as I am 195 speed or slower, I guarantee the turn order. And that's how speed RNG works in this game. It's a 5% speed RNG. So if you take Arya's speed times 1.05, Sinji has to be faster than that. If I take Sinji's speed divided by 1.05, Arya has to be slower than that. As long as you follow that basic rule, don't let anybody tell you it's 10 speed difference or anything like that. It's literally multiply or divide by 1.05 to figure out how far apart they have to be from each other. So at 192, she's below the 195 threshold, so she will always go second, and I don't have to worry about speed RNG bricking my runs. This Arya I put on a destruction set. Ramped her damage up as much as I could. She's a defense scaler, but she still gets a lot of benefit from attack, so don't ignore her attack. In fact, you'll probably do better with an attack percent ring over a defense percent ring. I probably could have made my life a lot easier with an attack percent ring. I put the Symbol of Unity. This is an artifact you can get from your guild. If you don't have this artifact, try an attack ring. You probably will be able to do it that way. I don't know what it is about the damage on these scaling units, but attack really does seem to help more than defense or HP when you're doing these fights. She is technically at 100% crit, right? We get 15% crit because of elemental advantage, ice into fire wyvern, and we get another 16% crit chance from the artifact Midnight Bloom applying to everybody. So those combined, we are well over 100% crit chance, and we'll go second, and we got decent damage. If you can get her up to 65% effectiveness, that's even better, because she'll have a chance to stick blinds, and the more debuffs you stack, the better equipped you're going to be for this fight. So not required, but it is a nice bonus to have effectiveness on her. Just make sure you get your damage taken care of first. The third unit to go on the team is going to be Corinne, and to make sure Corinne cuts and goes first, I'm going to put Warhorn on her. Warhorn will make sure that she CR pushes up and goes right after the Wyvern attacks to apply defense break. Before we start doing any of our damage, she is our defense breaker. She's the most important unit to make sure it sticks, and you need 65% crit chance to get the maximum chance. If you go over 65%, it's just wasted stats. Whether she is 65 or 565% chance, it's the same chance to stick a defense break. There's always that 15% absolute resistance, and that does give a failure rate of about 15% to this team. But as long as she sticks defense break, you're going to clear this fight. Other than that, stick as much damage as you can on her. She is a solid damage dealer. Again, as long as you're over 69% with Midnight Bloom or 85% crit chance without Midnight Bloom, you'll be able to add 100% crit chance. And 127 speed is fine, even though it looks slower than the other units. The 19% CR push from Warhorn will make sure she gets to take a turn. As for an EE, the one that lets you have 2 additional bleeds is her best in slot, because the more debuffs you have, the harder Sigrid's going to hit when she drops her nuke. And speaking of Sigrid, the last unit on the team is going to be Sigrid, who you can get from the hunt challenges. Oh, and Corinne, if you're desperate for this team, you can unlock the Book of Memories, Song of the Sea, I think it's called, and you get Corinne for free in that. Checking. I just want to make sure I'm not wrong on that. It's either Corinne or Alexa. Side stories, Book of Memories. I'm sure it's Corinne because there's a skin. Yeah. Yeah, Song of the Sea, you get Corinne for free just by opening this up. So if you want to drop 900 Sky Stones to get your Corinne, you can do that, but you can also get Corinne by just doing your regular daily summons. Eventually she'll drop in your lap. As for Sigrid, we've got the best damage gear we can muster with the worst gear I had. All level 78 gear. 117 speed. Her speed doesn't matter. 12k by 800 health. Her health and defense don't matter. Effectiveness, now she will dual attack with Sinful Angelica, so that's a chance for one more debuff off of the dual attack swipe. So if you can pull off 65% effectiveness, you will make this team more consistent. But you want to make sure you've got the damage first. The damage is the most important part. Crit damage is way more important than attack. I would rather have 350 at 44 than I would to have 5k at 310. And the reason for that is crit damage modifies the damage boost from Daydream Joker. So if we are doing 3% into a 100,000 HP unit, that would be 3,000 extra damage, but it would be 3,000 times 3.5. So we would get, math is hard, but well over 10,000 damage because crit damage modifies the damage boost from Daydream Joker, and that's why you want to have crit damage over attack. But get these as high as you can. She's your nuker, she's your one-shotter. The stronger that she is, the closer that she is to super high damage, the easier it's going to be to one-shot, and the safer your fights are going to be. If you can pull off Rage Set, that's even better. If you can pull off Pen Set, that helps too. Hey, Sparky, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. Other than that, make sure you have locked down your hunt pet and you are ready to go. Here's how the fight works. Everybody's skills are on for this fight. At the start of the fight, Sinful Angelica goes first, applying attack buff and speed buff to everybody. This allows Arya to put herself in stealth. This lets the little dragonlets hit her. One of them will get hit. The other little dragonlet will get hit, and this will summon the Murder Penguin. And the Murder Penguin is so strong and scary, it should wipe out the entire enemy team and allow you to push into the second phase. Now, everybody is still stealthed, so the dragon has to hit Arya, who can attack, and we got the blind. That's why you want some effectiveness on Arya. That's one additional debuff. We get the defense break from Corinne. She comes in with her next attack. Hopefully, we get one or two bleeds from her EE. We got both of the bleeds. Sinful Angelica does the attack buff. We get the debuff from Sigrid as well from this dual attack swipe, and that's going to let Sigrid come in and overkill the Wyvern for a full-on one-shot. Now, the less debuffs you have, the less likely it is to one-shot. It is possible that you can not get enough debuffs to kill the Wyvern. Try one more time, see if we can make that happen. Why don't I use Strays for one-shot? Because everybody's wearing level 78 gear, Carlisle. Can you one-shot Strays using level 78 and Goblin gear? If you can, man, hats off to you. I'll hand over my YouTube channel to you and you can make the guides. This is the lowest gear requirement one-shot video out there. We didn't get the defense break. Oh well. I'll record after hours, find a piece of footage where we get the defense break but not enough debuffs to one-shot and show that once with the defense break, this will hit so low that just that hit and maybe one other hit after that and the Wyvern's dead. It makes it pretty stable, but we're looking at an 85% success rate as long as you stick that defense break. Now let's see. Oh, this feels like such a waste. Let's see. 85%, so we should lose 2 to 3 of these, right? On average. 1 clear, 2 clear, 3 clear. This one looks like a fail. Oh, 4 clear. There's our 1 fail. 2 fails. 7 clear. 3 fails. 9 clear. Oh, 4. Our coin flips landed badly. But the better your gear gets, the more likely you are to clear, and it's a nice one-shot team, and it's fast. It gets it done so fast that you can just run this in the background. You don't lose stamina when you're when you have a fail, so during a hunt buff event, it's giga fast, and you'll be able to rack up your Wyvern stuff. Does it make sense to put Arya in the front so she runs where one-shots would fail? Will it succeed? I don't think it's going to matter. We can try it, though. I think her placement really matters. Hey, from Rio. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. And you're from Spain? Nice. Man, you guys are all over the place. Defense break. We didn't get the blind. Do we get any bleeds? We got one bleed. Got the blind there. Okay, so this one won't one-shot, right? This is a great example. Everything lives. I see what you're saying, that Arya can take the hits better than Sinji. Ouch. Blind. Attack break. Extra hit. Extra swipe. Oh. Our damage is really, really low. It's better for Arya to be in the back because she will die first, and you want Sinji to be the one getting hit. Yep. I think this is what happened, right? We just didn't quite have the ass to kill it. I mean, you're going to need those debuffs to clear this at this low of a gear level. Maybe I do pump up the gear just a little bit to make it a little bit more stable. But I mean, you saw the quick run, right? It was like 6 out of 10 wins with this level of gear. I still think at that point, for background battling, it's worth it for background battling. And just as your gear gets better, as you hit harder, it's going to kill more and more and more consistent. That's the wrong button. Oops. How many molas are on Corinne? She might be plus. She's got 6. That's a really good point. More mola on Corinne would probably make a big difference on this. You would prefer a standard team with a 100% win rate if this team clears 5 seconds faster than your standard team. 5 seconds faster. And you are doing... Well, let's time this one for the math, right? Hang on here. Let me find my stopwatch. Hang on here. A stopwatch going here. She didn't kill the ads? Did she hit the front snecks both times and then didn't have enough juice to kill the back ad? I'm changing her to an attack neck. This is ridiculous. Give me a second. Or attack ring. Surely there's one in storage. That one maybe. That one may be better. Actually, let me just do it this way. Arya. Do this with attack. Speed. Okay, we can try this. This. And that ring I already took out. God, it's no effectiveness at all, though. Wyvern. Yeah, that if it's not killing all the ads, that's one layer of RNG we've got to remove. That's a lot more damage. But we're losing almost all of the effectiveness. I wonder if it's enough damage we can get rid of this. Mage artifact that's got effectiveness on it. Go. Yep, she's a defense scaler, and she scales better with attack than defense. Let's see if it works. Melissa's already, yeah, good, good. Twilight Calamity, sure. Okay, let's see if this works. Boom, smack, and boom. Smack go. Okay, did not hit the back row, right? Didn't hit the back row at all. See if it's enough ass to kill the back row. Oh, it's so close. So close. Need just a little bit more juice. Does this do it? I hate doing this, but does this do it? Man, now we gotta wait for her to, like, not hit the back row again. Should have waited and seen how much HP it had. Hit the back row. We can just math it. Hang on. We can just math it. Doesn't matter about the artifact, though. We need to use Portrait to do it. So we just need to see how hard this S3 hits and then go check the back dragon's HP. Oh, hit the front ones. That's okay. Okay, Murder Penguin does 12,933, right? 12,933. 13. It's not going to be enough. We need 600 more damage. We need to be able to do 13,554 with that with the murder penguin to guarantee kill. Ah, irritated. Guys, I'm going to have to put a pin in this until I can sit down and cook with Fribbles to get that exact damage and see. EE. I don't want to use... pen set won't matter on the murder penguin because pen set is just... pen set's for single target attacks only. Yeah, I can, but I don't want to use mod gems on freaking goblin gear. It's just a matter of re-gearing for it. I can re-gear. Trust me, guys. I can re-gear around this. I just need to figure out the right cocktail of stats. What about her EE? Do we have her on the one that increases her murder penguin damage or not? This is the one, right? This is the one that increases the murder penguin damage, because this does it. 10% more damage. We're already doing 12.6. That gives us an additional 1.2. This does it right here. I really want to spend currency on a freaking murder penguin party for a video. Get it in one. There we go. Okay, let's see if you can be back here. Okay, we need 13,554 on our S3 to get the kill. Hit the front ones again. Ah, okay. 13,554, and we get 13,973. Easy. So this kills no matter what. Pop, there's our defense break. Apply some bleeds. I do think I want to get a little more damage on Sigrid. I think we're relying a little too much on all these debuffs, but like this should one-shot. The only debuff we're missing is the blind. Oh, it didn't quite do it, but this finishes her off. I think we need to squeeze a little bit more damage on Sigrid. She's just a little bit too shy on the damage to one-shot with... I'd like her to one-shot if we only get like 5 debuffs instead of relying on getting... Or 4 debuffs instead of relying on getting 6. And really, that can be addressed by putting some freaking Molagora in Corinne. Or putting some better gear on Corinne. Hey, thank you, Zilla. Thank you. I'm going to have to reshoot this off cam, guys. I appreciate you guys entertaining me with it while we theory crafted it. I just want to have a nice Wyvern guide up for new players as well as veterans so that they can one-shot content for the buff event this weekend. I wonder if really the need is for her to have more damage or if the need is for Sigrid or is for Corinne to have a little more damage, because this is pretty sad. What happens if we don't have... We don't have her on Warhorn. We won't get this attack into the defense break. This will happen first, right? Or will the speed buff be enough? No, there's no way the speed buff's enough to cut, right? 205 divided by 1.3. 5.7. You know, if I could speed her up to like 150, I could put her on Daydream Joker 2. Or Damage Artifact, get away from this. Is the buff event going to be better than the Rift event? No, you still. If you need gear, you farm Rift. If you need gear, you farm Rift. If you can't farm Rift, or if you need Reforged mats, you farm Hunts. There's also something to be said for if you swipe or are sitting on 5,000 leafs, then you should probably farm Hunt, because you will be able to do more hunts, right? Even with a top-tier Rift team, you're still going to be able to do 4 or 5 hunts for every 1 Rift run. So you will get way more gear per stamina out of Rift, but you will get way more gear per minute out of Wyvern. Savvy? If you're just going for volume and you don't care about efficiency, you just want to get, you need to burn through 1,000 leafs and you want to get it done, then for sure Rift. I'm sorry, then for sure Hunts. But if you're trying, you know, if you don't have, if you're not swiping for leafs, what if we can one-shot Rift? You can one-turn Rift, but you're not one-shotting Rift. This whole thing is about a 75 to 80 second run. Yeah, see, this is for people like Pixie. Can't do Rift yet. This is the next best thing. And I'll be honest with you, if I was a new player and I was sitting here and I had like, you know, maybe 1,500 leafs, I would do hunts and seed a bunch of gear onto my account. But 150 leafs, I'll burn through that in half a day on Rift. But 1,500, it's going to take you like 2 entire weeks to get through that many leafs farming Rift. But yeah, a lot of people really enjoy the very, very small doses of bookmarks that are on the Rift, or that are on the hunt tree. They drop rare, and they only drop like 5, 6, or 7 at a time. Like, if you do the entire buff event, you might get enough to do 2, maybe 3 pulls on a Mystic Banner. But a buck's a buck. That could be your Harsetti, that could be your ML Hua Young, that could be what you're chasing. The other thing too is these. What good's having gear if you can't level it? What good's farming Rift for your speed gear if you don't have these things to make them level 90? So a lot can be said for farming Hunt to get your Reforge mats too. But if you're just going for raw pieces of gear, you're just trying to get the best gear per stamina, then Rift is always going to be better for gear. Hunts are only better for the things that aren't gear. Yeah. All your times chasing Reforged mats, it feels like it, doesn't it? I'll tweak this later, guys. I'm a little over it now. Let's see, what else we got to do. Defense is holding up. I don't get how people keep losing to Harsetti. Oh, I can't put Arya on this team because my Arya is bad right now. I guess we're going to try to use Bologna. If this doesn't work, I gotta wait to do these until oh shit, even Bologna's missing gear. Oh, you're just missing that. Easy fix. How to get more team slots? If you go into your teams menu, which you can get at by clicking on this, And you scroll at the bottom, the little button down here says Add Teams, and you click on it, and I'm maxed out, but it will tell you how many Sky Stones, and each new team costs an additional burst of Sky Stones. The last couple get pretty expensive, but you can just add them here. Is the Expo Pass worth it in general? In general, yes. In general, the reward, it's like the best value that feels so terribly bad to get, but the blue boxes and the Molagora alone are worth it. It feels awful. Now, if you're out of Sky Stones and you want to save up in case there's an epic pass going on, or you really need them to pull for, like if you don't have Galililius and you're going to need those Sky Stones to refresh the shop to get the bookmarks to get Galililius, you do that. Galililius is way more important than the epic pass. The epic pass is just good value per Sky Stone as far as advancement, but nothing in there is required to play by any stretch. So as long as you've got enough to secure your gala tomorrow, you do that. Oh, speaking of the gala event tomorrow, guys, be real careful about that event. In that event, you build your teams and you beat the content, and then you go to the next stage and you build another team to beat the content again at the next level, but the last fight on that level is going to be against the team you just built. The AI is going to use your prior winning team against you. So be careful about going onto YouTube and looking up the best teams for Brawl mode, and then you build that best team and you beat level 1, and then you get your ass handed to you and you feel stuck. You feel stuck because that was your best team, and how are you going to beat that team? Now, if you get stuck, we're going to be doing Brawl mode parties, and we're going to be... I love Brawl mode. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'll be able... Nobody has been able to present me with a Brawl mode that me and a brain trust of other TFT players haven't been able to figure out a way around the team. So we can get you unlocked if you get stuck, but the best way is to not get stuck. Take a team that's good enough to beat, but you can think of a way to beat your own team. So, you think the Expo Pass isn't worth it? I always buy it. I think it's pretty worth. But to each their own, right? But yeah, be careful about Brawl mode, especially checking online guides about what is the best team. A lot of those were like, here is the best team, so you can use it to beat the team that you couldn't beat. So those can get you in trouble. So just be a little careful about the Brawl mode. Don't paint yourself into a corner and have to fight your best team with no way out. I hate fighting Harsetti without Arya. Please work. Hey, it worked. Which is good for Bologna, lifesteal or counter? I think in a vacuum, all things being equal.
That happened to me last time. I somehow made such a good team that I couldn't beat it for the challenge ICANT.
Yeah, yep. It is what it is, man. I think in a vacuum, all things considered, I think Destruction Set would let you build the best Bologna because it's got so many free stats in it. That said, I was able to build a much better Bologna on counter than I was able to build on Destro. And there are some people that are married to putting her on lifesteal so they can have access to other artifacts as well. I think all three are good. Which one is best, I think really depends on... Try all three and pick the one that gives you the stat line you want. I couldn't get this stat line on Destruction. Actually, I could get exactly this stat line with ever so slightly more crit damage. It was like an identical stat line with maybe 20 more crit damage, and that wasn't worth losing counter to me. Now, if I could get this exact same stat line with 40 more crit damage, then hell yeah, I would put Destro on her. It just depends which you can build the best. You play her on injury? Who hurt you? Why is Gala that important? Where do we use her? Guild Wars, Arena, RTA, Labyrinth, Advent, some Abyss Floors. But that's it. Those are the only places. You didn't see her in Flag Arena? For some manual teams, she's a tank buster. Now this unit's dropped her value a little bit, but I'll use my Gala to blow up a lot of tank units. Oh yeah, Banshee. I forgot about Banshee. She's a good Banshee one-shot unit. Where is Gala useful? I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to wrap things up, because I'm hungry, and it's dinner time. So, let's see. Now you guys know why I'm constantly out of frickin' leaves. This is not the right team. We're gonna run Gala. And I think nobody else. Just a bunch of Soul Weavers. How's my imprints look? It looks fine. Now, I think Gala's going to need all 6 pieces of gear, so let's fix that. Stupid Hall of Trials. Let's see, was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. It was this one. Yeah, there we go. Now this is a PvP Gala, right? You want to do this better, you put her on attack boots and do even more damage. I'm going to speed it along though a little bit by putting her on Daydream Joker, and it's important that I put her on Daydream Joker because when I put her on Daydream Joker, I forget that I've done this, and then I take her into RTA and lose because she's on Daydream Joker. But we're going to run her. And Destina, are you dressed? Sure you are. How about you, Bernard? This is the first time taking you here, so surely you're going to do something good for us, right? Sure, we'll use Celestine. Why not? Just a little more healing. And, Rowana. Thicker than a bucket of KFC. Let's go. Okay, right? Does this look good? I'm in Nightmare, right? Purple background? Okay, good. Purple background. So we'll jump over here to fight these bees. We'll go up here. We'll press auto. We'll leave everybody's skills on. And then we'll sit back and relax. My Bologna is on speed set. Oh, that's interesting. Speed set sounds pretty good. Still on CR from Holo... Yeah. My Holo Trials and everything. Why does Rowana have crit? Yeah, because she was in Holo Trials. She's clearly the DPS in this fight. Oh, did you say she's good on Ice Expedition? Is she good? I've never used her in Ice Expo, but it makes sense she would be really good there. I was going to hit so damn hard. I don't want it to take forever, so I'm going to tell it to click this to target the glowy one. There we go. Do you think it's worth it to buy Wukong banner and spend 600 leafs this season? It would be my first and last purchase in Epic 7. I think you've probably only got about another 6 weeks of Rift. If you think you can... I don't think you need Wukong to clear the Battle Pass. I would look at the Battle Pass and decide, is that worth it? I think Rift is so close to ending, it's... Nah, fam, I honestly think I'd pass. I don't think the benefit is enough. I would just do hunts and then rock the next one. Especially, I mean, because you got to spend money to get that purchase, and then you're going to have to spend resources, and we've got Gala coming, we've got the limited Flan coming, we got a collaboration coming. All that's heading our way. What's the requirement to take Harsetti to exhaustion and Hall of Trials? You need to strip her twice and then break her barrier. What set do you use on my free spirit? On mine, I've on a free-to-play Destro set. Okay, let's do it again. Are you hitting the right one this time? Click on this. Show me that you're hitting the gold glowy one. Somebody hit somebody. Nope, that's the wrong one. Okay, so click on this and tell everybody to hit this guy. Too bad we were a little slow and Gala's hitting the wrong unit, but oh well. What's up, Wolf and Roses? Break the barrier, Arunca's time to shine. Remember, Rangers get the big boost, but yeah. Fenris is good. Commander Pavel's good at breaking that barrier. I've heard people using Landy, but she's a little tough to use. Bologna would be good. Can I craft a... I craft a build for ML Haste, but they changed on the Galaxy shop, and now I can't use the set. Yeah, that's rough. I don't know why they changed that. The motivational speech. That's hilarious. I'm glad it worked out. Anyway, you noticing how, like, none of my team is, like, out of health yet? Everybody's health bar is still full because I got 3 healers, and watch how hard this hits. Ready for this? almost kills it in one shot. If I had attack boots on her, it would have killed in one shot. Chomp. So yeah, this is Nightmare. Hands free. I don't know why they did that. I know it was a mistake, right? Because the coin shop had Briarwitch Assaria, and she was just in the coin shop in July.
Be good there, since he cleanses on S2.
Yep, Zahak is also insanely good here. Green Bologna is crazy good here. There's a lot of DPS options that you can use, but nope, nobody slams it like Lilius does in this. I really like her in this fight. Stuff. Do I have enough currency to buy something from Alexa? Ooh, I do. Giga Neck or Giga Ring, guys? I've got a lot of the rings, but I got a lot of the necks too. One minute poll. Get your votes in. Which am I getting? Does Galileus need pen set? No. Every little bit helps, but she doesn't need it. I think she's better on Torrent. She's already got a ton of pen in her skill, and pen doesn't do that much. Plus, Torrent lowers her HP, which makes her easier to build. Yeah, pen only helps on her S1. Yeah, Torrent or Immunity, sure. One of those two. Man, you guys are pretty evenly split. The ring's winning by like 4%. Oh, now the neck's in the lead. Well, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? 14 voted for the ring, 14 voted for the neck. Heads its ring, tails its neck. Heads, ring. The real gone. Thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate you. Okay, what did I get from killing the jewel leave? Ew. Ew. I guess we speed check it. Ew. Okay, I guess we go to 9. See ya. But the ring. The ring's gonna be great, right? Tell me the ring's gonna be great. Don't roll effectiveness, please. Go. Shit! We forgive one, right? We forgive one. Is it dead? Is it dead? No. No. No, it's not. Is most assuredly not usable by Lulakar. This thing would have to max roll to get as good as Lulakar's ring. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it one more roll to see if it has a chance to replace Lulakar's ring. It's a 9. It do be a max roll. It do be a max roll. Nope, 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 nope. I demand a mulligan. I am owed this. I farmed for a month for this. I deserve something better. Is it bad? Somebody let me know. Can I look? Don't look. Don't look. I shouldn't click this. Should we just end stream? What the hell is that? I didn't think it was possible for these things to roll below 95. Just when you think you've hit the bottom of the well of shitty rolls, a ring like this comes along to remind you that that well has no bottom. So when we tell you not to buy these things for 1,800 Skystones from Hoochie, I think you guys understand why now. Get behind me, Satan. Okay. One more time. One more time. 3 times a charm, right, guys? 3 times a charm. Okay. The 5 kind of sucks, but at least we got a 9. Mid-roll. The double mins? The double mins? was a 9, right? It was a 9 in defense? Yeah, 9 and a 5 for 14. This is a hell of a lot better than what we had though, right guys? 99 equipment score, we take it. This might actually even be an improvement for Lulakar. Whoever told me to roll rings? Man. It is a straight up sideways movement. It's a little bit more speed and a little bit less bulk. Yeah. Ocean Breeze Lulika, because she hits you with a car. Well, a truck. Lula truck sounds weird, so Truck Coon or Lulakar. I don't know, guys. It's kind of the exact same thing. But 99 equipment score. 222 speed looks nicer. I think 1500 defense looks nicer. Alright guys, this has been fun, but I'm hungry. I want to go eat dinner. I'll work on this Wyvern montage video. I will get up my thoughts on the the patch note changes. For those of you who came in late, my my summary on that is I don't care. It doesn't really change anything, and people crying like it's the end of the world and demanding selectors. What the hell? I mean, piss off. Get mad at Smilegate when they do something that's worthy of getting mad over. And they do plenty of stuff that's worthy of getting mad over. If you're complaining and getting mad over something as menial and trivial as this, you're just weakening our ability to actually have action done when they do something that is genuinely bad. Crying and bitching about little things like this. It's like the people are like, oh, they misspelled the... There's a typo in this name, so we should get a 5-star selector, yeah. Send in the trucks review bomb because they drew Vildred with 6 fingers. Get over it, guys. This doesn't really matter. Oh, hey, I promised to tell you that the trick for the artifacts, right? They're going to do a recall, so you can recall anything that has 1800 XP or more in it for those artifacts, right? So when you do your summons, if you get... What's the artifact called that's being recalled? It was a... Frick. It was Labyrinth Cube, right? What was it called? Hang on, I'll find it. No, not RNL, the free one. Was it this one? No. It was Mandolin, right? Yeah, Butterfly Mandolin. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so this one, right? If you get more of these, like, let's see. Let me check my storage. Surely I got a bunch more of these. Storage. Artifacts. Butterfly. Here we go. I got 8 of them. Nice. Okay. So get these, right? And what you want to do is... In an hour, I'll do this, right? I'll do one to show you, but in an hour, you want to find pets, ideally pets that do these skills, right? Because artifacts are equipment, so these count towards them, right? This increases your chance for sparking when you level up artifacts, and this increases the amount of XP you get from the artifacts. So do guild buffs that give you increased XP. All this stuff stacks in. So you use this stuff, right? And then you go... Oh wait, the guild buffs are for hero XP. Forget guild buffs. But anyway, get the pets on there. Go and find your butterfly mandolins. You need at least 1800 XP, right? So go stuff enough stuff to get at least 1800 XP. And what you're hoping for is a spark. Show me a spark. Spark. So I got way more XP than I should have. That means when we recall this artifact, I will get charms equal to the amount of experience points that are in it. So I will get more than 1 purple charm back. Because I got 6.6% more XP from the pet and that good great thing that created that spark. That gave me even more XP. So instead of, this artifact charm, for example, this artifact charm's worth 18,896 XP, right? 18,889 XP. When I put this in here, I will get 1889 XP. So 1889 XP going in times 6 or times 0.066. So even though I'm putting in 18,889 times 1.06, even though I'm putting 18,889 XP in, I will get 20,135 XP worth of charms coming out of it. And if it sparks, it's even more. If it's a great success, it's potentially double. So I could put 1 red charm in, get a great success, and I would get 2 red charms out of it. Savvy? So if you've got the charms to spend, go ahead and spend them on your butterfly mandolins and just do the individual ones. And if you're going to take it to plus 15, take it up to the edge of plus 15. Right? And then use a red charm as your last charm to overcap it. If it's plus 30, it'll just say max, but it remembers the overcap. So even if you plus 30, you can overcap it, and you can still get the XP back from it. Now with artifacts, they refund as many as you want. It's not like units. They will let you recall all the artifacts if they do it like they did last time. And that's a big if, but if they do it like they did when they did the recall on, what was the one people put on Apocravia? Time Matter. If they do it like they did on Time Matter, you can do it over and over and over again, but they have to be on artifacts that you have before the event goes live, and they have to be on artifacts that have a minimum of 1,800 XP in it. The wording is the same for this one. Wording is the same for this one, so you can do it. So take if you've got one that is already, like this one's already maxed out, take it up to level 29, get the XP all the way up to the edge, and then drop a red or purple charm into it to try to overcap the XP. And then when you recall it, you'll get all that back. And it's going to feel like a waste. You're going to use all of your charms, and that's okay. Use every single artifact charm you have currently in your storage, every single one, getting as many butterfly mandolins as you have over 1,800 XP, because you need 1,800 for the minimum. Timeless Anchor, right? Not Time Matter. Timeless Anchor was the one they recalled. Do this for all of them, and then on the 24th, when the recall goes, you can recall all of them, and you will get substantially more artifact charms out of it than you put into it. It's a net gain. There is no loss to this. You're just going to be completely out of charms until this happens. But believe you me, every single artifact charm I got, I'm doing this into my butterfly mandolins to kind of cheese the system to get a little bit more. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I know artifact charms are a big roadblock for a lot of us right now. You're going to have to put up with not having artifact charms for a little while you're doing this, while you're stacking this up. Make sure when you do your daily summons, you don't sell your mandolins. And one other thing that you can do is go over to your summon page and go down here and do your friendship summons and burn all your stuff and get friendship summons, because the friendship summons have these 2-star artifacts in here, right? And then you can come into your artifacts, find your butterfly mandolins, right? Enhance and start using your 2-star artifact. Oop, not that one. Start using your 2-star artifacts. All right. That alone was 600, right? 291. Yeah, that alone, just that one 10 summon was 600 XP. So if I do 2 more 10 summons, I'll get above 1,800 XP. And boom, I've got a recall that I can do. And this will give me charms for things that weren't charms. And any of the gold you spent, that gets refunded too. You get the gold back. It is a net positive. There's no negative to doing this. Other than that, for a short period of time, you can't level up any artifacts because you're pumping them all into your mandolins. Right? Can you believe that you really, really want a 3-star artifact now? Have you ever wanted butterfly mandolins so much in your life? Nope, I didn't get a spark. I didn't get a greater on that one. But if you've got a pet, make sure you have in your lobby pet at very, very least a minus... wrong one. at very, very least, a plus 6.5, plus enhanced equipment XP, because this goes right into charms. So at very least, if you don't get any sparks at all, you will have a 6.5, or a chance to increase the XP. Or not chance, sorry. Even if you don't have any sparks at all, you will immediately get 6.6% more XP out of the artifact than you put into it. That means that 18,000 epic charm is going to give you 20,000 charms XP worth of charms back. You'll probably get an epic and maybe 1 or 2 whites, and they always round up, right? So even if you're 1 XP over, they'll give you another white charm for that overage. And if you can get the increased chance for good or greats, man, that's just an extra 11% chance that you're going to get a spark to significantly increase the XP that you get. And these stack with this. So here in about 58 minutes, I'm going to put Big Chungus back in my lobby after I get my daily gift. And then I'm going to start buying artifact charms from the guild and start leveling this stuff. Now, if you're desperate for artifact charms, you can go to the powder shop and buy them here. I strongly encourage you against doing this, because though you will get a good return on investment on your charms, powder is so insanely valuable for buying limited artifacts, collaboration artifacts, really good artifacts that appear down here. I can't endorse using powder on charms when you can just go to your guild, do normal guild daily stuff, and get charms that way. But you do you. You do you. I would not miss a bottle of knowledge just to get a few extra charms. Do your daily stuff in your guild. Request and donate. Farm a little and give them gold. And you can use these things to go into the member shop and buy yourself some artifact charms. As you can see, I kind of already did that. You're wondering if I ever changed my Sylvian's boots. I, in fact, did not. Oh, did. I did. My Sylvian's fixed. Ha. Think I don't take care of my units. Think I forget things like forgetting to put Gala back on Windrider. And I totally would have remembered this too if you hadn't reminded me. Totally would have remembered this. What level of Artie is the most efficient to use red charms? If it's just a single one where plus 15 is the max, I would wait until you are as close to plus 14, like one more white charm would push you over. Don't use that white charm, use a red at the very end, because the overcapped XP will count. At level 30, same story. Even though you won't see it, it'll just say max. The game remembers. The game remembers the overcap, and you will get that paid back in full, in overage. So that actually lets you go over the cap and get even more back than you should get for a normal plus 30. So save those reds to overcap your plus 15s and plus 30s. Haste on Celestine. Oh, for fuck's sake. You guys think I wouldn't have remembered this? You think I wouldn't have known that my haste isn't on Celestine anymore? Think I would have really... I would have played like 25 matches and wonder why my haste isn't healing. But I'd have figured it out sooner or later. 5-star selector, Cecilia or Lilius? Green Expo irks me to do with Ras. CC is better. If it's just Green Expo, CC is better. Lilius is better in lots of other stuff. But if it's just Green Expo it's irking you, then Cecilia is better there. It's literally the only place you're going to use her, though. Lilius is a dual attack unit. You'll find some Lilius plus one other unit cheeses. She's better in a Nightmare Raid versus Vera. She cleanses. She dual attacks. She's an HP scaler. She's a knight. You find a lot more uses. Pound for pound, Lilius is a better unit, but Cecilia is going to be better for Green Expo. All right, guys, this has been fun. I appreciate you being here and helping out. We're going to go raid Car 6 because I don't think I've ever raided Car before. My homie, he is doing his summons and going badly. So let's go say hi to Car. Thanks again for being here, for helping out with the Wyvern team. Sweet 7, thank you for the sub. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but I really appreciate your support. You guys have a great rest of your week. I'll get some videos up later off of this stream, so thank you again for that. Have a great one, everybody. Let's see, where's that button? Boop. How do I end stream? Oh, like this. See ya.
You build units at a certain speed so you can take advantage, right, of her passive, obviously. But the thing that other people are taking even further than that. Holy mama! What the? We got the Wolf pack coming in hot, boys.